What's up guys, Matt Jerome here, and this is my review of the HTC One. I've had this phone for about 6 months, so this is an honest review of this phone. I'll tell you whether this is a good buy for you or no. So, there are obviously pros and cons to every phone, just like the iPhone has its pros and cons, but I will start with the cons because we want to leave the best stuff for last, right? So the first con is, now this might be different to some people, but I really don't like HTC Sense 5. I don't know, it's just a feel thing, but I just don't know how things are laid out, like the way things are put on and stuff, how they're grouped is just not to my liking because I am an Apple user, and the way things are on the iPhone is just way better to me. But some people will like the skin, but if you can, vanilla Android is a better skin than this, because for this one I just don't like how some of the apps are, and how they're laid out, and just the feel of it. The next con, and this is also just my personal thing, but blink feed. This has come no use to me. I never use this. As you can see, the only thing I have on this is Facebook, because I don't find any use for it. Some people might find use for it, but to me it's just a waste of time, waste of page, waste of usage of the phone. To me it just doesn't make sense. It does nothing for me. But some people might like blink feed, some people might like having all their stuff on one page, but for me, it's just eh. Next part is the camera. The camera is a piece of crap on this phone. I know they were advertising the 4 megapixel thing, but here, I'll just take a photo with this. So you can take a look at that, and then I'll take a photo with the 5. Sorry, just give me a second. So you can clearly see the color difference in the iPhone 5. The color is way brighter. There's a lot of detail and everything. You can zoom in, see all the colors. In this one is just kind of pale. Like, you don't see all the detail. Like, you see the wall there is kind of beige, but it's really yellow. I know you can't really see it that well, but yeah, it's very, like, this shows the real color, while this is just kind of dull. So the camera, and the front camera is a piece of shit. This one isn't much better, but just take my word for it. The camera on this is a piece of crap. In low light, it is a bit better than the iPhone 5, but not drastically, right? So if you want to get this for the camera, do not get it, because it's not a useful thing. Camera is not very good. Oh, this one's a big part. This is why you have to get a case for this phone. You cannot use this phone. Even with a case, it still gets scratched. You see right there? That's a scratch. I have some scratches on the sides. I don't know if you can see along there. But this phone, yes, it feels nice, but it's so prone to scratching. I have my case on. Look at that big ass scratch right there. Because this phone is made out of aluminum. I don't even know. But yeah, and these front parts, they're going to get dirty, and then when you try to wipe them off, they're going to create scratches. So this phone is very much prone to scratches. So if you don't like scratches, this may not be the phone for you. The next part is the battery life. The battery life is not all good on this phone. Okay, so as I was saying before, the battery life isn't very good on this phone because I like to watch a lot of YouTube. I like to go on Facebook and that sort of stuff. And when I would do this constantly, this phone would last me about 4 to 5 hours, no joke. Because I enjoy, sorry for my sister in the background, but I enjoy watching a lot of YouTube and on Facebook. This buddy, he can handle it all day, 17%, right? I've been out today and haven't used it much. You can see, even with, like, I mean, every phone will go down in battery usage, but just take my word for it. Alright, this phone gets drained of battery very quickly because it has all these updates going on in the background, all this crap that just eats up your battery. Oh, Beats Audio is total bullshit on this phone. It does nothing but eat your battery and make it sound a bit better. So it's gonna be hard to do, but I'll play a song full volume right here and then I'll turn on Beats Audio. You probably won't be able to hear too much of a difference. That's because it doesn't do anything. It lowers the volume a bit, makes it sound a tiny bit better, and eats out your battery if you listen to a lot of music. So okay, and now try to go very quickly. Turn on Beats Audio. Now, as you can hear, all it really did is it just lowered the volume. When I put this with my headphones, I really can't hear any difference between the Beats Audio and the one that's without Beats Audio. What Beats Audio does, it really just eats up your battery. That's all that I found it does. If you listen to music for a long time. The last thing I have, and this might just be my phone. I might have just gotten a defective model, but for me, what I really hate about this phone is that every 2 months I have to reset it. Now the reason for that is sometimes, like let's say I go into my messages, right, and let's say I just go up to here, right. Sometimes when I press, this keyboard won't come up, so I won't be able to type. Even if I go on like the internet, I won't be able to type in what I want, and I really don't know why this is. And also, when I would exit out of applications, like let's say I go on Facebook, right, and if I would exit, the applications come back right away. When this like every 2 month lag period, I'll call it, comes into play, the applications won't show up like until 5 seconds later. Now I don't have video proof, and I don't know if this is just my model or if it's for everybody, but that's a very big problem I've had with this phone. I used to have an iPhone 4 and I didn't have to reset it for a year and a half, so this is really pissing me off. Alright, enough with the cons. Oh, and also for some reason, when I connect my Beats to this, I can't use the cable for up and down volume, even though it has Beats Audio. How interesting. Okay, the pros. Alright, so boom sound. Obviously, one of the pros, boom sound is amazing. It really does sound louder and better. Okay, so let's see, I'll go here, and I'll try to put 2 of the same songs on. So hold on a second, sorry. Okay, so I'll put 2 of the same songs on. Alright, so here's the iPhone. So, you know, pretty good. Now here's the HC1. The sound is way crisper and louder. It's just better for playing music, and that's a legitimate thing that they added, which I really like. Oh, and also for the sound, I love how the speakers are in the front. So like when you're watching YouTube, it's right in your face. Speakers are right in your face. You can hear everything. In this one, if you're watching YouTube, you can still hear, but you know the sound is going out this way. It doesn't really make sense. This is using logic to blast the sound right at your face, which I like. It's not a bad thing. Next, that it has 32 gigabytes of storage. That is the lowest gigabyte model you can get is 32 gigs. I really like that because that means a lot of music, a lot of you can put movies, and you can just put a lot of stuff. You can just store a lot of stuff on this, which I really like. Unlike this model, which is already expensive at 16 gigs, but you know. Oh, this one, very high pixel density, and I will show you right now what this means. Okay, let me try to focus. You see that white? Sorry, just give me a second to do the iPhone one. Now look at that white. Can you see the difference? Yeah, so this pixel density is very good 1080p display. These whites are way better, blacks are way better. You see the white is just pretty dull on this phone. But yeah, the colors are really amazing on the HTC One. And finally, for the pros, is the feel. Now, if you look at this phone, it's a curve. Your hand is also a curve. Boom, match made in heaven. This phone is a square. Your hand is not a square. Sort of, not really. Look at that space. So this phone is definitely like fits your hand perfectly. I think it's a perfect size. You can get everything all over, right? It's perfect. This phone, I like it because it's a bit smaller, because my hands are a bit small. I can get all the corners. Right, I can't really do that on this phone. But this phone has a really square feel, and you know, we're not robots or aliens, and we don't have square hands. So this phone naturally feels better in your hand because it's curved. And so, in the end, which phone should you buy this phone? If you're tired of Apple and you want to get a new phone, do not get this phone. Just from my experience, because I came from an Apple device. If you have an Apple and you really want to switch, get something like the Nexus, because it has vanilla Android, which I really like, unlike this piece of crap HTC Sense, which I really hate. That's just me, you know. But the price point is really good for this phone, so you know, in the end, it's really up to you whether you want to buy this phone. If you're buying it for the music, yes, you should buy this. If you're buying it for the camera, hell no. Do not buy this phone for the camera. So it really comes down to you. Some people will like the HTC Sense 5, some people will like the blink feed, you know what I'm saying? But it's really up to you in the end. So this has been my review of the HTC One. Hope you have enjoyed, and peace.